So the first thing to do is to get hold of a couple of pieces of wood. That was me cutting a couple of pieces of wood. Raise it up, put that in. Now this is going to be too short, but I just want to show you the principle. So for all of those trolls that say, oh, you shouldn't do it like that, you should do it any way that fits. So that goes in there. It doesn't matter where you put them. And that one goes in there. Forget the bit in the middle. All this is just to show you how I do it. Close the window up. Push that in. Push it in. And literally just make a curve. Now you've got the curve. What you do is you cut those two pieces out. Now again, just for the sake of demonstration, I'll do that. Now we go back over here. Hopefully that's in the right place, near enough. It's a very windy day today, so that will fit in there. That will fit in there. As you can see, it's more or less right. Now what I'll do is I'll show you on hand of the bits that I did beforehand. What goes in there. So I've got the two bits that are going to go in there. One bit goes in there. Make sure I've got them the right way around. See, even in the best run families, things go wrong. Now, what I do is to make sure that we've got the distances right. That's it. Right, you'll notice that there's still a bit of movement there, and you want that. In fact, we want more movement than is there. So you just take your trusted carpentry's pencil, and you simply scribe along there. Nothing fancy. You don't need to be fancy. You don't need any fancy tools. So that is now scribed. So we work to that line. Take those off. I'll come to the next bit in a second. Now to find the line, again, this is very, very simple. That's those roughed out. The next stage is to do the router slot in order to take the draft proofing before we do anything else. The next thing we've got to do is put the slot in for the draft proofing. So this is a Katsu router. It's been with me for about 2-3 years now. Absolutely fabulous little machine. It's got a slot cutter. I don't know if you can see that, but I even up on the camera. It's got a slot cutter in there, which cuts slot cutter in there, which gives us the slot that we need. And that's so simple. notice, I don't know if you can see, that's the slot where the draft stripping is going to go in. This bit is simply to join the two bits. Now, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Now, whoops, wrong end. That's the left-hand side, so the slot's on the left-hand side. That's the right-hand side, so the slot's on the right-hand side. Dead simple. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of timber just to slot in there. It's literally just to hold it like a biscuit joint. Right, so I've cut a little, I suppose you could call that a fillet, or you could call it you can call it whatever you want, Fred, Jill, Bill. The one thing that's in there, that slips in there. Whoops, he said, that's it. And that will just act as a tiny little brace to keep things in place. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue that in place, and then we'll carry on. Right, that's the next bit. As you can see, there's the draft stripping in there. Yeah. Remember, this is the upstand, so you don't actually see any of this afterwards. Yeah. But what I've done is I've scored a line all along there, which is bigger. Oops, can we get that? I must learn to do some camera work. Which will leave more material than is needed. Oh, that's better. Yeah, so I've scored the line, and the way I scored the line, yeah, this is view mark, so you know. Yeah, it's literally just take a strip. We know that is bigger than the gap we want. So all I do is I just scroll it around. It's just so that I've got a line to work to, nothing else. Yeah. And what we'll do now is we'll just cut that back. So all I do is I just follow the line. I don't need to be very precise. I just need to make sure that I made that this morning because of this job. The one thing I didn't do is put a switch on it. That's what I'm going to do this weekend. So there you have the draft stripping. We've tacked it in for the moment so that we know everything fits, and so that when we open the window and we close it again, perfect. And that's what we're looking for. Now we're going to tidy it up. Do remember that we've got a staff bead going on the top of this, so all the imperfections will be hidden underneath the staff bead, which is basically doing the same thing again, but with a rounded front edge. So Mark, there you have it. Now you can do this up in Cheltenham. Once the staff beads are in, that will be beautifully sealed. And this window will do another 100 years.